Hi everyone, welcome to Prompt and Build. In this channel, we will be creating multiple videos where we will be using the modern AI tools to generate multiple applications without a lot of changes that we will be doing in the code. So in our last video, we have created a backend application for managing to-dos, and we used this particular prompt to ChatGPT, and we got all the code and the requirements that are required, and we were able to test our changes as well. So if anyone is interested, please go back and watch that video. In this video, we will be generating a simple UI using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, but we will not be writing anything with our hands. So we will be asking ChatGPT to generate a simple UI for this particular to-do application, and let's get into it. So I'm skipping through this thing. We will be using this old chart that we have used for the backend application, so that ChatGPT has all the context and we don't have to provide it with all the information about the backend APIs and everything. So how it helps is, if we are working on the same chart, so ChatGPT and this particular model has all the details which we have asked for and the details that ChatGPT has provided us, so that whatever prompts that we are asking after that, the ChatGPT will be having the context of all the information and it will be able to provide us with good solutions here. So without doing any more delay, let's get into creating a simple web UI for this. So I'm posting the prompt that I was working on. So this is a simple prompt. So I'm just asking ChatGPT to create a simple yet good looking UI for my to-do app. And I am mentioning that this needs to be a single page web app to make things simpler, and the language that it needs to use HTML, CSS and JavaScript, no frameworks or anything like that. Let's keep it very simple. And the requirements are, this should be a single page app. I am stressing on this point again. And on the initial load, it needs to load all the to-dos and it should be only showing titles and criticality. All the other details should only be coming after we click on any particular to-do. And there should be a button on the right top, so to create a new to-do, that should be opening up a form so that we will be able to fill all our information. And the last point, each to-do should have a delete icon, clicking which should delete the item. That is obvious. So let's hit this and let's see what ChatGPT does. So let's use chart instead of the code UI. So for simpler use cases, actually getting answers in chart is very useful because there will be a lot of explanation and we'll be able to understand things very clearly. So it shows all the information, like what are the features that it has implemented. So here we see that there is an index.html file that needs to be created. So it is still creating things, I think. Let's wait for it to get it completed. So once this is completed, we should be able to save this file in our folder as index.html, and that should give us the base application that we required for viewing our to-dos or creating anything in the UI. Okay, here we go. ChatGPT has completed generating all the code required for us. Let's copy this code and go to our folder which we have already opened, and let's create a index.html file here. Okay, looks great. So let's see what ChatGPT is saying in addition to generating this code. So the first thing it says is, make sure your fast API server is running at this particular address. So we have created our backend application, but we did not start this application now. So let's go back to our chart a little bit and see how we will be able to start our application. So here we are. So for running the application, you can just use uvcon and run this with -f reload option. So now we see that the application is running, which we can verify by just going to postman and trying to get all items here. So as of now there are no options. Remember, we asked ChatGPT to use in-memory list so that we are not having any data right now which we need to create. So now it says save the HTML file, which we already did. Open the file in any browser. No server required. So we will just be opening this file inside in a browser. Yeah, here we go. You can see here that this is the index.html file that it has opened, and it shows to-do list here in the header, and there is a button on the right side to create a new to-do. So as of now there are no lists here, so let's click on new to-do so that we will be able to create a to-do option. So let's ask ChatGPT to provide an example. Please give me an example to test this UI. Okay, so it says it is giving all the information about how we will be able to do it, but all that we need is the sample JSON so that we will be able to create our first to do with the UI. Okay, here it is giving some information about some task. So let's just copy paste these things. Criticality, let's see it as high. Urgency, let's say it is urgent, and due date, let's say is tomorrow. Okay, let's hit the create to do. Okay, I don't see anything happening here, so let's go back to our home page. I don't see anything that got created, so let's try to debug this issue. So here it is saying that 405 method not allowed, so it is trying to do some options or something. So let's give this to ChatGPT and see what it says. I'm getting an error while creating a to do. So this is what we are giving. So it says CORS pre-flight request issue something. So we'll have to add something to our application so that it will be working fine. So what it is saying that is that we'll have to add some middleware. So we'll have to import some middleware in our backend, and we'll have to add some middleware so that the CORS issue is resolved. And then we'll be able to restart our app. Okay, here we are, the application is running again. Let's go back and try to create another to do. Okay, so let's do this ourselves this time. Finish the UI task. Description, use ChatGPT to create a simple UI for to-do app. Criticality is high, urgency is urgent, due date is tomorrow 07/07/2025. Let's create the to-do. So here we are redirected back to the list where we are able to see that there is one to-do list that got created, and when we click on this, it is able to show some information about all description, urgency, status, due date, and created it. I know this doesn't look very good. We can refine our prompt to ChatGPT so that we will be able to give it information about the colors or the layout that is required for this. But as of now, this looks good. So let's just test this delete option as well. Let's see. So it asks for the confirmation as we asked it to do. So this says, are you sure you want to delete this to do? Yeah, I want to delete it. Okay. So it redirected us to index.html file, and here we are with no to-do list. So that is it for this video. Thank you all.